I know, it's kind of weird. It's Sunday night. What the hell am I doing? This is called... We had a whole bunch of PCs come in for service this weekend. So the build that I wanted to do last night, I didn't get to because I had too many PCs on the bench. Kind of all in the way. So I had to work through those this morning, and then got the bench cleared, and then I was able to proceed with the build. But today was the last day I mowed a lawn for 2024. Yes, I still mow my own lawn. Well, I don't mow my own lawn. I mow my mother-in-law's lawn, and then I hire somebody to mow my lawn because I don't have time to mow my lawn because I mow my mother-in-law's lawn. Does that make sense? so that she can save money. I don't know why I don't just hire somebody to mow her lawn. The main reason is because her lawn's massive and expensive. Anyway, welcome to the Sunday night build show. Very rare build show because typically, I do not stream or build on Sunday. Sunday is typically the only day I have off in the entire week, except for through the month of December. So, sounds like a lot of mowing. Yes, that is why I'm in my white t-shirt, because this is I just wear white t-shirts when I'm doing yard work, because I don't really care. Don't really want to get all my other shirts dirtied. And then I just didn't change, because I'm like, I don't have time for a shower if I'm going to build this PC. I don't want it to go super late, and we're already at like 9:30 as it is. So, here we are. You get Ben in a plain white tee, not the band, building a PC. And the contrast actually isn't bad. I actually don't mind the contrast on the camera with a white t-shirt. So we'll have to look into some white t-shirts for Empower, I guess. I don't know. I have a white hoodie. I could put that on, but it's like 1,000 degrees in here, I feel like. Because Mrs. Empower, being pregnant and all, likes her temperatures to be precise right now. So here we are. Well, let's do this build. All right, so we're going to recap on this build out that we have here in front of us. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the build show, Devin. Devin does tech. I also do tech. I do quite a bit of tech as well myself, so nice to know that there's somebody else out there that does tech, because I feel like most of the time, us techie dudes, we usually find ourselves feeling very alone out there. All you need is a barbecue station on it, and then my... so you don't want me to be like washing a car in a plain white tee or so, you know? I'll get all that soap everywhere. The wax on and wax off motion. There's at least 4 or 5 of us, yes. Yeah, it feels like, though, they're in the thick of it anyway, being a tech person. What's up, Ant-Man? Welcome back to the build show, the rare Sunday build show. It just feels like there's just not enough of us out there. What CPU is that with a 4080? Well, we're gonna get to that. We are gonna get to that. So these are parts that were purchased by a customer and brought to me to do a build. So this is not a build that I built out. This is a build that the customer purchased and was going to do the build on their own, but knows of me. And I actually provided a quote for a build to him. Just unfortunately, I provided it a little late because at the time when he submitted his estimate request or build request, I had a mountain of build requests, and each build request takes about 30 to 40 minutes to build out a PC to match the budget, to make sure we're making revenue to cover the warranty, and to make sure I'm making enough in general for the build, you know, for my time. So doing all that maths and stuff, the quote, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to put a build together that matches their requests, because there's a lot of requests in the build request. There's color schemes. There's, do I want, if somebody has a specific fan they want, you know, Corsair fans over Thermaltake or over Thermalright. Maybe they want Asus in the build. You know, there's tons of different requests, options in this request. So it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to put something together. Hey, what's up, Gary Smith? Welcome back to the build show, sir. Welcome back. So we're going to run through the build out. I don't have a typical build sheet that has all the parts, you know, listed here, so I'm going to be reading off as we go. This is raw material, guys. Raw material. So starting off, we have a Ryzen 5 7600. So it's an AM5 chip, obviously. It's got 6 cores, 12 threads, and a maximum boost of 5.1 gigahertz with a base clock speed of 3.8 gigahertz. So our boost goes to 5.1 out of the box. It's a great CPU to start with, especially on the AM5 platform if you're trying to budget for a system. Now, the motherboard we selected here is the ASRock V650M Pro RS. So this is what the customer selected for their build. This board, and then they also purchased, you can see here, a TP-Link AXE 5400. Now, these cost about $50, these Wi-Fi cards, and that's not a problem. The problem is we could have taken that extra $50 and we probably could have put it towards a much better board that would have had Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built into it. And I've mentioned that when he brought it in, because that's typically what I do. Most PCs I build today really has to have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, because that's what most people are looking for. They don't know, most people don't know, because they're coming from like a console platform to a PC typically. When they're coming to me for a PC, that's usually their transition. And typically we will always just make sure we have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi in there, because that's just an assumption by most people that PCs today all have Wi-Fi. So it's good that he recognized that and bought the Wi-Fi card because he needed Wi-Fi or Bluetooth maybe. But the downside is we could have better utilized the $50 or so on a better motherboard overall. And also, this is a micro ATX motherboard going in a NZXT H9 Elite case, which is what he purchased for the build as well. So it's a large case. So it is going to look a little proportionally awkward. I didn't check the slots on here either, because the other problem that could happen is that the available slot is going to be right underneath the graphics card for this PCIe wireless adapter. And if that's the case, it could be blocking some of the airflow on this graphics card, which is something we want to avoid if we can. So we'll look at that when we get to it, but just for awareness, that's something I would have avoided. And the main thing you would have done is taken the $50 or so and put it towards a better motherboard with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on there. Let's see here. Yeah, man, if you ever go gold cables, I bought a gold sag bracket stand that looks suitable. Oh, nice. Yeah, you actually, I think, shared a link in Discord, but looks great and matches. Nice. I like all the black sleeper builds. Tat. I actually have a sleeper build in here right now that we're servicing. Has a bad Western Digital M.2 NVMe SSD. Not one of our systems that I built, but a system that was brought to me for service. So funny, it's all blacked out. It's actually super cool looking. It needs a nice clean though, so we'll be doing that as well. I like to sleep also, but this is the bee's knees. Yes, just means more room for goodies in the caseband. Yes, that is precisely what this board means. But yeah, so overall, to cool the CPU, he selected a awesome cooler, the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE. So I'm sure we may have had a little bit of influence on that, talking about that. I also probably estimated that exact cooler, so he probably used that on the quote, maybe. I don't know. But it's a great cooler. The RAM that we have selected is a concern, actually, after I've reviewed all the components since they were dropped off relatively quickly. This is a Ripjaws S5 series, which is an Intel XMP certified kit. Now, most ASRock boards do work with the G.Skill Ripjaws S5, but I did not check the QVL list to verify this exact kit is certified for this board. So that might potentially become a problem. And my recommendation for that is, if it is a problem, I will make a recommendation on the correct kit, so he'll just have to return those and purchase the right kit and drop them in. We have a 2 terabyte Viper Gaming VP 4300 Lite M.2 NVMe SSD. This is by Patriot, which is up to 7,400 megabits per second. So this is very similar to your Team Group or the Team Group MP44 that I usually build with, but it's Patriot Viper Gaming series. He could have gotten the 7600 and a 7800 X3D to save on cost. Could have got the 7600 and 7800 X3D to save on cost. Yeah, he definitely got the 7600 to save cost here. I'm not at all complaining about the CPU option. I think the motherboard could have been better with the combination of the Wi-Fi card and the RAM. I probably would have selected a different kit to make sure it was AMD Expo certified, because we're on an AMD platform. And also, I don't know if this kit is on the QVL list or not. That is going to be a concern. Great cooler though. That cooler, you can upgrade your CPU in this socket no problem in the future and be able to definitely cool larger CPUs. 7600 GPU instead of the 4080. Okay, yeah, he could have done that, but I think he was going for, this is a gamer is what I see in this kit, or in this selection of parts. Really heavy on the graphics card, entry level on the CPU, which is fine. Like this CPU is going to be able to run that 4080. There might be a little bit of bottleneck there, you know, when you're trying to run things in like 4K, etc. And definitely in 1080p, you're going to have a bottleneck. So I guess both sides, you'll probably see a bottleneck and some sort of bottleneck. The 850 watt power supply is a little bit lighter. I would have preferred, but I would have preferred it to see 1000 watts here, not because the 4080 Super requires 1000 watts, but because it gives it a little bit of wiggle room there, and I always like to leave a little wiggle room, especially if he wanted to upgrade in the future, but he may not. I don't know for sure. So the 850 is fine, especially because it is a great brand by Be Quiet. Pure Power. These are actually super expensive power supplies. Great warranties, and they're really known for their quality. So great pick on the power supply as well. Okay, the case that we're building in is going to be the H9 Elite. Let's stop talking about it and actually do it. I'm just rambling on at this point. So, any questions on the build, guys? Any thoughts? PNY RTX 4080 Super. It's actually a great card. I'm really actually going to check to make sure that this RAM kit is on the QVL list for this board real quick, if you don't mind, guys. No extension cables, no sir. This was not a build that I built out. This was something the customer put together, purchased all the parts, and then brought it to me. So that is, I'm limited to what they brought me. Unless we add to it for them. So I'm going to double check that this kit here is on the QVL list. So just give me one moment, guys. So very simple. This kit is not on the QVL list, so there could be some compatibility issues with this RAM when we fire it up for the first time. So building this knowing that, in fact, there's only one G.Skill kit, unfortunately, that is listed as compatible with this motherboard. Surprising, because G.Skill is a very popular brand. So that tells me that this probably wasn't the right board for a gaming PC. I've actually never built with this board before either. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I will put the RAM in and I will boot it up and I will attempt to run the Intel XMP profile. So give it a go. But for the record, and for anybody that's watching this video, looking at this build and wondering if it is or is not on that list, it is not. I'm also going to try to save all the boxes here for him, because these are his components, not the... So I don't know if he's planning on saving these boxes and whatnot, so I'll save all the boxes for him. 4080 Super is a ton of power? Yes. Yes, it is. It's a ton of horsepower for this build, so he'll be able to enjoy a ton of performance out of that. Super top heavy on. Build balance is definitely very heavy, graphics card heavy on this build, which is fine. There's absolutely no problem with that. Yeah, this is CL36 as well. So this is a G.Skill Ripjaws S5 6000 megahertz CL36. Intel XMP 3.1 or 3.0. Sorry, 3.1. 3.0. So I think this will post in just stock settings, but I don't know that we're going to be able to get XMP working on this. So that is the concern. Alright, so here's the other bad news, is the graphics card is going to be here, and we might, depending on the thickness of the graphics card, we might be able to fit that Wi-Fi card down below, but it is going to impact the airflow on the graphics card. Let's reposition the camera here so we can see the CPU install, the RAM, and the SSD. So you can see here on the bottom that our graphics card is going to be used here in the top slot, and that our Wi-Fi card only has the option of going here in this bottom slot, and that's going to be right up on the fans as long as there's enough clearance for that graphics card. So it's going to impact the airflow a little bit. I think I would have went with a 7900 XT with an AIO and different motherboard for the price of that 4080. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I'm not a cheapo, so there's that. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I don't know what's there. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the CPU into the socket. This particular CPU does come with a stock cooler, those of you who are wondering. The 7600 does come with a stock air cooler, which is very similar to the same Stealth air cooler Wraith that comes with all the AM4 CPUs. So I'm gonna put that aside so he has that available to him if he ever wants to use it for something. There is our Ryzen 5 7600. We just gently drop the CPU into the socket. We'll close up our LGA mechanism, lock it in. And the next up is the RAM. We're going to be putting this in slots A2 and B2 respectively. go. And then the SSD, which is the Viper Gaming VP 4300 Lite, LITE, which is a 7400 megabits per second drive up to 2 terabyte. Are the AIM-4 stock coolers good enough? They are. They are actually decent. But the downside to them is they like to stay stuck to the CPU when you remove them. So if you ever go to remove the stock air cooler with the stock thermal paste, they like to just stay stuck to the CPU. So when you pull the cooler off, you're actually ripping the CPU out of the socket. I'm not a big fan of that. So I usually avoid that cooler just for that reason. But for the most part, I mean, it's good enough to get the job done if you're just trying to save a few bucks. But then came Thermalbright, and cheaper air coolers came along with decent quality, so now it's to spend the extra 20-30 bucks for a cooler. There we go, we got our SSD installed. Now, we can mount our Peerless Assassin. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit for that. The Peerless Assassin S120 SE by Thermalbright. And it is a black version, so there's no addressable RGB on the fans. They're blacked out. Where's your anti-static strap? No idea, man. Actually, I do. So I do have one of these. And in this kit has the anti-static strap. I remembered where it was. I was like, oh yeah. I have this kit that has one. Which, by the way, this kit is pretty badass. I've used it several times. Super convenient if you're on the go. On the road. We're laughing about that because there was somebody that came in here and was very upset that I wasn't using an anti-static strap. Although I tried very hard to convince him that it wasn't needed. Because it technically today is not really needed. Alright, so we continue our journey of wondering, how long does an LTT store screwdriver last? It's still going. I think we've gone through about 10 PCs now. So it's survived about 10 builds. Still going strong. I actually just received an email from them asking me for a review, and I'm like, I don't think it's been long enough, even though it's been 45 days since I've ordered it. I've had it here for a while before I started using it. But it is pretty cool so far. I enjoy the ratcheting, the ratchet experience. We are. We've got our mounting brackets on there for the Thermalright Peerless Assassin. Now we're just going to add our Thermalright TF7 thermal paste and then drop our cooler over top of it. Right now. Put a little extra at the bottom there where the hot spot is, just to make sure we have coverage. Alright. Always make sure you peel your peel at the bottom of your heatsink, or you will be swearing at your CPU temps. Wondering why this expensive cooler doesn't work. Got our extra long Phillips screwdriver to get down in there. That is to screw the screws down to the hardware, mounting hardware. And then we'll evenly apply pressure as we tighten the cooler down onto the CPU, because the CPU pressure is pressuring those pins underneath the CPU. Ben has his anti-static socks on Ant-Man. Yeah, totally do. I'm wearing shoes right now, tennis shoes, with my specific shoe inserts. They're supposed to be helping my knees. That really don't help my knees. My knee pain is continued. I used to play football when I was younger, so I damaged my knees pretty severely doing a couple of moves. Specifically, my meniscuses are pretty damaged. I was supposed to have surgery, but never did. Because the downtime was ridiculous. I never could have afforded that downtime that they were telling me about. I never did it. Now I'm sure it's just damaging my knees. Because I didn't get the surgery done. Alright, so there we have that. I just want to zip tie these up a little bit. Oh, look at how blurry that is. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I did that. Should have corrected that on its own. Camera be like, yeah, it's Sunday night, bruh. Take a break. You know, I'm going to trim these. And I think what I'm going to do is just tuck that in there. Going in a awkward. Doing a cable tuck. Tuck it underneath the fan there. All right, there we have it. We got our Thermalright Peerless Assassin installed. We got our RAM installed, our SSD, and our CPU. So next up, what position did I play? It was a defensive tackle position. So mostly just chasing faster guys than me, or tackling a quarterback trying to run. Ben was the kicker. No, definitely not. I was terrible at kicking. I was terrible at kicking. I was actually really good. Hey, what's up? Free tomato. Are you building a PC right now? Yes. That big metal for heat. Yes. That is the Thermalright Peerless Assassin. Sorry, I missed your chat over there on Twitch. It's been pretty quiet over there today, so I apologize. We have multiple chat windows. We stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, and Facebook, and Twitter. So, all at the same time. I was saying, having a King 95 Pro case, I seem to have cleaned the dang glass so much that there's fingerprint that it's pretty, yeah, it'll happen on any glass, so it's not just your glass or the King 95, but yeah, touching it is definitely a fingerprint nightmare on any glass. Cool. Did you play D1 ball? It was how do you call it, or what do you call it? It wasn't professionally or in any professional league. It was just a crazy ton of, and this is probably why I have bad knees, because there was no trainers or anything involved. It was just a ton of backyard football. I played running back as well, so a lot of running. But the biggest problem, I think, was my main position, defensive tackle. When you do when a wide receiver or a tight end or somebody is trying to come through with the ball, and they do the little stutter side steps, I used to do that with them, trying to, you know, stay with them, and that is what I think damaged my knees, because there was at one point, and this is actually what stopped me from playing football going forward, I sidestepped chasing a receiver, and my leg planted, and the rest of my leg kept going. So my foot and all the way up to my knee stayed where it was supposed to, in the ground, with cleats on, and the rest of my leg continued with the momentum. So it stretched everything, and since then it's just been a problem. Hey, good evening! What's up, Martin? You're forgetting to stream direct into my brain via I didn't know. Yeah, you never sent me your stream key for that, so how am I supposed to stream it there? OBS needs the stream key. Because if you didn't have a stream key set up, then anybody could just stream anything to your head. That would be terrifying. Think of what hackers. I mean, all the commercials. You know, if we could do that, people would be just streaming commercials to our head 24/7. You know they would, until they brainwash you into buying whatever they want you to buy. That's how commercials would be. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the case out. We can get this motherboard dropped in there. It's supposed to be a quick build kit. Definitely not how it should have been packaged. Oh. Oh well. This is the H9 Elite by NZXT. We are doing it in white. Ow. Zap. Here, let's zoom out so y'all can see what the hell I'm doing. How about that? Maybe that'll help. This is what I was talking about, micro ATX motherboard in an ATX case. Probably would have done it differently, especially the board. There's going to be a ton of extra real estate in the case. That's not cool. For the price on this case, I'm surprised you find things like this. Should not, but you do. Alright, so I'm not really going to remove any of the other glass. I am going to pop this panel though. Because we'll be doing some cable management back here. Pretty sure this, yeah, pops out. And then we have access to all these fun gadgets in the back. Does he have extra fans? No. No extra fans going into this. Absolutely nothing else going in. We just have what we have here. Although I do have NZXT fans sitting here from a previous project. What do you guys think? I have all these extra NZXT fans just sitting here doing nothing. As long as they plug into this hub. I've only got that hub to work with. And I'm pretty sure we only have one USB 2.0 header. Front panel, USB, HD audio, because NZXT is so cheap. They actually put 2.0 on the front. But yeah, we only have the one header to work with the one hub. Plus that's what that is. Yeah, it is. Never mind. Take that comment back about NZXT. So, we do have one extra hub, or USB 2.0 option for another hub. No, there's the 3 fans on the side and then a rear exhaust. So I would actually, I would prefer to put 3 more intake on this rather than an additional exhaust, because the idea is to get all the airflow in, to go through the CPU and then out the back. That would be the better design here. And then maybe throw 3 more fans up at the top, which I could do, potentially. But I need to see if we can make these 3 fans work. Pretty sure we can. 1, 2. Do have 3 RGB ports. Oh. We could put these 3 on the bottom. Uh-oh. Plugged it in, now I can't. Nice. There we go. So we'll put the 3 on the bottom, give them a little extra airflow. We won't use the 140s because there's no reason to. And at the top, these are not RGB. These are just regular fans, or do we put these ones at the bottom and put the RGB at the top? These are Lian Li, actually super nice fans, up to 3,000 RPMs. PWM. They came off a cooler. We could throw those in the bottom. Yeah. We'll throw the RGB at the top so that it glows down, and then the non-RGB at the bottom. Good? Does that sound good? Fan splitters for the win? Yeah, there's splitters in here. I'm not worried about that, because our fan headers, unfortunately, are very limited. It looks like we have 3 on the bottom here. 1 in the center. That is it. So 3 fan headers on the bottom. Should be plenty. We got this. We'll do that. And then we'll wish him happy birthday or something for, I don't know, $40 of fans that are brand new, free. Let's drop our motherboard in here and then figure that out, shall we? The micro ATX motherboard, so we are going to have to change the studs. The studs are not in the right spot. I'm going to need this guy. Yep. Not that guy. That guy. And This one. This is part of that Gamers Nexus kit, actually. Could have been that sucker in there. Nice. Then ZXT has to be special. Get it? Done screwing around with it. Oh, brother. Make him buy your 24-pack of expensive beer? Nah. That's alright. I don't ask people to do that. This was more of a help a brother out situation. He put all his money into that graphics card. I would have done the same thing too, back in my first time. Are these not the right screws? These must not be. Don't feel right at all. Please. I hate NZXT's labeling mechanism design. It just annoys the hell out of me. Just tell me if it's for a motherboard or an SSD, dude. I don't care about the actual screw size. Even though I should probably know that by now. Probably something I should know. But NZXT in general uses a different screw than any other case manufacturer as it is. So it's already a unique screw, which I don't understand. It always bothered me. 16 folks watching over here on YouTube think that's a record. Oh, nice. Since I've been here. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to the channel, definitely let me know. Chat it up. Ask me some questions. We've been building for a long time. Don't mind the back of my neck there. Righto. We've got our motherboard, CPU, RAM, SSD cooler, CPU cooler, Thermalright Peerless Assassin, all installed into the case now. So what I'm going to do next is get some of the cables for the case plugged in, and then I will start working on the fans, and then from there we can get a power supply in and also the graphics card. So, making some progress here. Got USB 3.0 here and USB-C. Thank goodness it has those. One of the few things that I do like about NZXT is their cable management in their cases is awesome. Clean. That is one positive thing I could say about NZXT. Sorry, NZXT. Do better. I won't complain. What I mean by do better is the amount of money people pay for these cases. You expect the quality to be there. A lot of times when you find little things like I found when I first opened this thing up, which is the mesh underneath this panel has a little string just stringing out on it. It's falling apart. The mesh is literally falling apart. And it's brand new. Kind of dumb. Did not see that on a brand new case. That is what I'm referencing. Gosh, I just remembered we also have that wireless card that we have to plug in as well, which is also going to be an additional USB port. So I'm not going to zip tie this stuff up quite yet. We're going to need to clean that up anyway when we get that plugged in down here. Because the Bluetooth is going to require a USB 2.0 header for the external, internal PCIe Wi-Fi card / Bluetooth card. Going up to Kelvin. Welcome to the Build Show, sir. The GPU Asus TUF Gaming GeForce RTX 40 Super OC is good? Question mark. Yes. The 4070 Super is a great card, and Asus TUF Gaming is a great brand and model. So it's a very good card, and it's also the OC, the overclocked factory overclocked model. So you get a little bit of, bonus performance right out of the box without having to do anything. So right there is it's a great card. You could pretty much play any game in 1440p and enjoy the ray tracing experience on that card. You can also stream with that card very smoothly. So there's a lot you can do with that card. It's a great card to start with. If that's what you're starting out with or upgrading to, let me know what you're upgrading from. Martin, B244. Martin, how old were you when you first built a PC? So I was about 13, 14 years old when I built my first PC. And that was back in 2000 and, gosh, I want to say 2006, 2007, maybe earlier. 89, 10 was 2000, or 99. Yeah, it was earlier. So it was like 2004. trying to remember. It's been a long time, long path. So like 2004, 13, 14. That's a great card. Yes, Tat, I agree with you. Ben was doing cable management while in a womb. Martin, cannot say what I was doing there, so I cannot confirm or deny that I was doing cable management. But I am second oldest of 9, so if I did cable management, all my brothers and sisters behind me would have seen all my work, right? As weird as that might be. I built my first PC at the tender age of 44. Nice! Back in 2023. Well, welcome to the Build Club, I guess. I don't know. What do we want to call it? The Build Club, Tat? Martin? What do you guys want to call it? We'll call it the Build Club. The PC Build Club. The Builder Club. Are electric screwdrivers good for PCs? I actually missed that question from Ant-Man earlier. Technically, they should be all right. I just don't like the fact that you can't always control the torque on those on those screwdrivers, Ant-Man. I like to do manual. That's just a personal preference, only because I like to feel the torque to know for sure that I've tightened a screw tight enough and did not over tighten. So the best way to feel that is to do it manually. And it's important in most builds. In most situations on a PC, it's really important not to over tighten, and it's really important generally not to keep it too loose. So alright guys, so we've got all our front panel stuff plugged in. Next up, we could do some of the fans that we're going to add here. So I think we agreed to do the Lian Li fans at the bottom here. Anyway, we're going to add these 3 Lian Li 120 millimeter 3000 RPM fans at the bottom here, and then we'll add the 3 NZXT addressable RGB fans at the top. So I guess we'll lay the fans down and screw them in from the bottom. It looks like, as you have to do. There's no tray. For the price of this build, or this case, you would have thought that it would compete with the Lian Li at least, and have a tray, but it does not have that tray. Also, the case does not include any... Oh, I take that back. Shut up, Ben. You don't know what you're talking about. I was going to say, the case doesn't include any other fan screws. It actually does. Just an idiot. Put these in here. Get some additional airflow for this man. Welcome to the endless cycle of wanting more. Yes. More power, please. Never enough. Nice. We're just gonna play that game right out of the box. I don't know if we can use these particular things. They're only... Yeah, screw this. These are radiator only. I can't get it to bite. So instead, we're going to use these Deep Cool. That's right, I still have Deep Cool products sitting here, even though they're not sold in the United States anymore. These fancy looking white deep cool fans. They're just plain white PWM fans. Probably came from the LS or LT120. But we replaced them with different fans. Most likely is what happened. Simply put, the other fans would not bite through, not bite. I want the radiator fan, radiator screw. Only. I'm on a search for trying to find a light combo that looks like a black lit lightsaber color for my RGB. Huh. Black lit. I don't know that we're gonna find anything like that. Let me know if you do. There we go. We got our three 120s installed into the bottom. Now we're going to install the three 120s at the top. I have no idea how this comes off. Oh, it just lifts right off. Probably should have peeled that after. Oh well. Been looking around at RGB color changing software. Yeah, there's a couple of great software out there. Can I get your playlist? I find this music very relaxing. I'd like to play this while driving at night. So this playlist is on Epidemic Sound, and I can share it there if you have Epidemic Sound. So that is where the music comes from. We'd need a license there. As long as it's not too relaxing while you're driving, because that would be bad. Put you to sleep or something. That'd be terrible. Comes off just like that, yeah. What's up, Army Vet? Welcome back to 3 in a row. Yeah, I know. Before Twitch takes it away again, I don't know what keeps happening. Twitch is like, actually, no. Right. Bad boy in here. I don't know why they don't give us white screws and a white case for the price that you pay. I would have expected that. Dude. Yeah, no, I get you. The black light color that you're looking for. Man, wish I lived closer to you. Son's PC had an AIO burnout. Yeah, you replaced it. Replacement wasn't working, so I returned it. Got another. Temps are okay, but the PC keeps randomly crashing now. Reddit. Redid the thermal paste. Still can't figure this problem out. So what are the temps now? If you don't mind me asking that. Since you've re-pasted and all that. What are the CPU temps? Yes. Oh. About 45 Celsius under load, 40 to 45 if I remember. Yeah, that's pretty good. What CPU is it again? Is it the one I? It's not one I built. No, that was for. It's an AM5. Can't remember what one though. All right. And you're getting crashing. When you say crashing, is the PC rebooting, turning off, blue screening? What is it doing? And if it's a blue screen, what blue screen error is it? Go. We got the top fans installed and the bottom fans. Bonus. So that way, we know for sure that this thing is not going to overheat. on us. So we're just going to really quick do some cable management. Hopes that cables will reach destination. Well, that'll do. Way to do that because we don't enough PWMs, my liege. Works quite nicely, actually. All right, so there's that. The next step, we could drop a graphics card in here, and then our wireless PCIe 45C under load is pretty dang good if you ask me. Yes, I agree. So I don't think it's a temperature problem. But I'm really hoping the processor didn't get borked between the first AIO dying and the second one not cooling right. Very possible. I might have to just run an Epiphany. He did replace the 32 gig RAM with 2 new sticks. Might try tossing the old ones back in. Yes. Yes, Army Vet, I would definitely try that. Put the old RAM back in there and see if it continues crashing, because maybe you didn't get the system running long enough to see or identify that the new RAM was crashing, if it was all changed at the same time. Just thought about it possibly being maybe a bad RAM stick. It's possible, yeah. Very possible. No blue screen, but I will have to ask him exactly what it's doing. Yeah, we'll have to find out what it's doing, because the RAM would cause blue screens or reboots. So it would just reboot. If it's doing something else, then we'd have to... It might be something else. But the RAM would definitely be causing blue screens and reboots. That's a lot of fans. Let's go. Yeah, we added more fans. They're like, you know, this guy has an awfully large case. And we may as well just put these fans in here, because I have NZXT fans sitting here doing nothing in white. So that's cool. We donated some fans to the cause. And then I had some deep cool fans, just plain white ones at the bottom, just to give us a little extra airflow. This RTX 4080 Super is going to run Toasty McToastin. Hot. Then obviously we want to make sure we have enough airflow for that Thermalright Peerless Assassin coming in. So. But here's our RTX 4080 Super going in with this build. It's a beefy card, guys. I'm getting scared. It's a beefy card. Comes with its own bracket, which is cool. Look at that. We'll actually try to get this bracket installed real quick. I believe this is a discrete bracket that goes down here. It is. Definitely. Do. This is a 3-slot card, guys. It is going to be tight. Tight on that PCIe card. It's going to be tight, guys. Definitely not what I would have done here. Would have definitely gone with Wi-Fi on the motherboard to avoid what we're about to do. Which is slightly suffocate the graphics card. There we go. That's a beefy big boy. Hey there, big boy. Alright, now we gotta get this little anti-sag bracket piece in here so that it actually supports the card. Of course, it's right where that thing is. Yes, yes. Right. Now let's get this PCIe card in here for the Wi-Fi. Oh, be tight. I don't like it. So I helped a friend out. Okay, let's see here. I mean, being new, it shouldn't be an issue, but you never know. Yeah, that's 100% correct. It could be a brand new bad stick of RAM. He probably needs 4 sticks of DDR5. No, absolutely not at Army Vet. Just one connector for that 4080. I'm seeing that right? Yes. That is a 16-pin, 12-volt high power connection. So the cable can deliver up to 600 watts, but this card probably is only going to ask for like, what, 300? 350? So I helped a friend out with a PC today. He had issues where Tarkov would drop to the desktop after replacing the video card. They made sure to remove all the old drivers using DDU to clean it. Very good. Still dropped, with all updated drivers. Ended up being the BIOS on his PC that didn't like the new card. I think that was the 4080 as well. Huh. So you updated the BIOS and that fixed the problem? The red Wi-Fi card really throws the vibe off here, guys. Again, I didn't purchase this. But it throws the vibe off a little bit. we go. We got all that in there. Now we just need to put some reliable zip ties on these cables down here by the graphics card. They don't pop loose and rub on these fans, which is what we don't want to have happen. Nice. There we go. There's a nice little wire harness at the bottom, hidden away. Hard to see. What do you guys think so far? Does it look good? Together? Now we just need a power supply in here and we can fire this bad boy up. All right, let's get a power supply in here, shall we? Oh, that's right. Hey, Carol. So under load, it can run between 65 Celsius and 80 C. It sits anywhere between 50 Celsius and 65 Celsius idle. Okay, so 80C is a little hot, but that is a Ryzen 9 7900. So, kind of expected. Oof, wonder how much of a impact that card is going to make in that fan. Yes, I know, that's what I've been saying since the beginning, is the fact that we're putting a PCIe card there is just, it hurts me. There we go, I was wrong. And yeah, I replaced the RAM since I was having bad memory leak with the old RAM. So is it still crashing with the old RAM, or you replaced the RAM since you were having a bad memory leak with the old RAM? Okay, well that's... So is it better with the new RAM or worse? I guess. I don't know. Let me know, guys. Because it sounds like you had some issues before all of this. You replaced the RAM. And I guess, is there any progress there? We haven't tried. He's at work. Okay, gotcha. So this is just something that's developed today. Testing today. Yeah. I mean, I would do a memory test. I would do a CPU test. I would do even a storage test. But let me know what you mean by crashing. I don't understand what it's doing while crashing. Is it blue screening? Is it shutting off? What is it doing when it's crashing? What is the crash? I need to know that. I sure hope this is a PCIe 5.0 power supply. Pretty sure it's not. It is, thank God. Happens to both my browser and my games. Applications just shut down. Oh. That's interesting. That sounds more like a storage problem, to be honest. If applications just shut down with no error behind it. If there's absolutely no error behind it, I would look in the Windows Event Viewer under Applications and see if there's anything in there that tells you why the application shut down. Because definitely something's going on. And it sounds more like a Windows problem than a hardware problem. Like, the application's corrupt, and could be that the game is installed somewhere on the drive and the drive is failing. That's what it sounds like. Or maybe it's time to reinstall Windows because of something on there that's not agreeing with the rest of the system. Do we only have one EPS or two? So, E what? I'll put both. I'm just gonna fill it out. Screw it. We're just gonna fill this bad boy out because I don't know what he's gonna put in here in the future. Honestly, don't want to deal with these cables getting lost. We're just gonna plug it all in. Screw it. Oh, I also forgot to tell you, my wife now wants the rose gold case and pink and white cable extensions. Was told tonight we will be doing her PC next. Nice. Yeah, the rose gold looks pretty cool. I haven't actually built with that one yet. Colors look pretty dope, though. I was thinking about trying to do an update with my BIOS and then doing a fresh install of Windows. That's what I would do. Do a BIOS update, reinstall Windows. Also test that SSD and see if that's good. Before you go through with all of that, make sure you test the SSD to verify there's no issues with it. Okay. Now we just got to figure out where everything goes, and then we can fire this bad boy up and finish this build. I don't know if we have one or two cables on the top. Now we have a 24 pin for sure. So just the one EPS. We have our 24 pin here. Damn it. And then we have our 16 pin 12 volt high power cable. There we go. Looks good. Go. And this. Go. Like so. Steve Anderson, I missed the beginning. Tell me about the parts in the computer, please. I will get to that, Steve, here in just a moment. Oh, looks like Tat's got you covered already. Thanks, Tat. 7600, AMD Ryzen 5 7600, RTX 4080 Super, ASRock B650M RS? Pro RS by ASRock, yep. Micro ATX motherboard. The 850 watt power supply, NZXT H9 Elite, and we have a Be Quiet 850 watt power supply, as well as a Thermalright Peerless Assassin for the cooler. We added some additional NZXT fans to the case and some deep cool fans just to give it a little extra airflow, because the Elite only came with the 3 fans here on the side and then the one in the rear, which probably would have been enough airflow to get started, but you know me, I always want a little extra. The customer purchased all of this on their own and then brought the parts to me, so this isn't a build that I did on my own. And yes, they also included a TP-Link Wi-Fi card as well, which is covering up one of the fans. It's not something I really like, but they need the Wi-Fi. And again, I didn't do the build. I didn't build out this build. So they built it out, brought me the parts, and asked me to build it. Nice. You can upgrade the CPU to a 9800X 3D in the future. Graphics is already taken care of. Exactly. Yeah. No errors in the event log, doesn't say anything. I was thinking about trying to update the BIOS, then do a fresh install of Windows. I've never updated the BIOS before, lol. So, BIOS update's pretty easy. You just go to the manufacturer's website for your motherboard, look up your exact model, go to the BIOS section, download the latest version, put it on a USB drive, extract it to the USB drive, boot to your BIOS by tapping the delete key while the computer's powering up, and then, depending on what motherboard you have, go to the BIOS updater tool and select the file and let it do its thing. When it's done, you'll want to make sure you go reapply any settings that you had in your BIOS, such as fan curves or AMD Expo profile or XMP profile for your RAM, because those will all be set back to default. You've done them before, so you got that covered? Nice. Perfect. But I mean, the process is pretty simple. It's not as scary as it sounds. It's pretty easy. So don't feel like it should be a scary process. It's not. It's not a very scary process at all. Now this I don't like at all. Don't like how twisty this has ended up. Try to undo this cable and see where we want to put these. This guy wants to go like down here for some reason. We'll just let him do that. Let him do his thing. Actually, all of these should just go down this way too. There's no reason to up there. And then we'll free flow this one. Better do that anyway. Don't any pressure on that cable. And the rest of these could just hang out down here for all I care. Pretty clean, right? Not bad. Almost forgot that one. Oh. Somebody definitely touched the inside of that case before I was here. Those are not my prints. For the record. That was my print. Nice. Alright guys, let's fire this thing up and see what it looks like. You guys ready for this? Let's fix that camera real quick. Why is it so zoomed in? Hold on. Wait, no, vent holes for the top airflow? That's right. The vent holes are right here. I guess you can't see. Hold on, let me get you top down. The vent holes are right here. Glass vent holes. That's the Elite by NZXT that you pay a lot of money for. Hold on, I gotta get in here to fix this zoom the problems. There we go. All right, who's ready to fire this thing up? Y'all ready for this? You know, I think the AM4 platform is going to go down in history as AMD's legendary platform. I think it already has. It's going to be around still for years to come. I still find a reason to upgrade from the 5800X 3D. Yes. I agree. The AM4 platform is going to be around, and I'm hoping the AM5 platform lives up to its lives up to AM4. We need to fire it up. Sound alert to use channel points on. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Them NZXT fans, though. Yay! Hey, what's up, some giant idiot? Welcome back to the build show, sir. It is so pretty and bright. Yes. Yes, it is. It's very clean. For all the complaints that I had for it, it's pretty clean. But I think the top fans that have a little bit of light there definitely add some flavor to it. Here's hoping the RAM works out. Well, it posted, so that's a sign. A good sign. But it is still not on the QVL list, so we'll see how the XMP profile works out on the AMD platform. That is the concern here, that the RAM kit is not on the QVL list. Download a game and let's play. Yeah, I wish that's how it worked, because now I gotta install Windows and drivers, do the BIOS update, all that fun stuff. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done here. But the build looks good. It's a perfect song for winding down. I mean, it's the end of the night, Sunday night. I typically don't build and stream on Sunday nights unless it's December, when it's super busy. So, build number 162. It's built. Now we just got to finish up the software side, which I'm looking to have this ready to go for tomorrow's pickup, because the customer wants to pick this up tomorrow. He actually wanted to pick it up this weekend, and I couldn't get to the build quick enough. Fortunately, this is where we are at. But with all that being said, guys, that's it. That's it for the night. It's done. We can move on with our evenings. We've seen the build. That's it. There's nothing else to do here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I do have another build stream planned, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure which day it's going to be, but sometime in the midweek, we'll be building another PC. So until then, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out and joining us tonight on the Sunday evening rare stream. Looks great. Clean boots. Wait, what more can you ask for? Yeah, I know. You can't really ask for much more. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Steve. Thank you. Some giant idiot over there. Thank you. On the Twitch, Army Vet, Kyrell. If you guys need anything, feel free to reach out to me directly. You can definitely reach me on Discord or call or text or email. So, you know all the channels. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.